What is nonconformity? What does that look like? What does that mean for us? Does nonconformity for one person look a little bit different than nonconformity for another person? Is it important? Is it necessary? Is conforming a good thing or a bad thing? What do we think? Nonconformity is when we question or directly challenge the status quo. That could be whatever the status quo or whatever is expected in a certain family unit, in a certain group, in a certain community, in a culture, in a society, in an institution, in a workplace, anything along those lines. Every place has its own norms, its own expectations, its own rules, its own ways of operating in order for things to be considered running smoothly in that system. When things are out of alignment, or when someone is out of alignment with that system, the way it functions may not be as effective, as at least to some people. It may not run as smoothly. It may come across some type of barrier, some contrast. It may not work properly. It may be uncomfortable. It may be unwanted by many. There's many different ways that nonconformity can affect a group, can affect a system, an institution, a society, or a culture. When we think of nonconformity from an individual standpoint, what we're referring to is not going with the norm, not going with the herd, going against the status quo, really questioning and challenging these rules, these expectations, the practices, the authority that's associated with it. An example of this could be maybe somebody who is living in a culture that is valuing monogamy. That could be somebody who practices polyamory, for example. Or maybe there is a culture or a group that values the importance of not having sex outside of a committed monogamous marriage, and that could be having sex outside of marriage. That could be the person in the family system who might be considered the scapegoat, who points out the flaws of the family, and the family doesn't like that because the family is getting called out on something. There's so many different ways that we can go against the grain of a system that we are part of. And we have to ask ourselves, is it good for us? Is it necessary? Is it helpful to us, or is it helpful to the system? What does it being helpful or effective look like? What is our motive behind not conforming? Am I being authentic by not conforming to this system? Am I being true to myself? Am I aligning with my values? Am I being the person that I want to be? Am I actually being real and genuine? Sometimes when we step outside of the norm of any kind of group, culture, society, or organization that we've been accustomed to, that we've been part of, it can be really uncomfortable, and it can really shake things up for other people. Sometimes it could shake things up for ourselves even. And so we have to ask ourselves if it's worth it. Why am I wanting to not conform? Is it because I don't like the way something is going? Is it because I don't agree with something? Is it because I feel like I've outgrown a certain place or a certain group of people or a certain organization or a certain way of existing and a way of being? Do I feel like I actually belong here? Do I feel like this is right for me? Do I feel like this is meant for me? Do I feel like these things, these places, these groups, whatever it may be, do I feel like they need to follow me into the direction that I'm going? When I'm stepping in to being my authentic self, my higher self, my true self, are some of these things going to have to get left behind? Am I going to have to challenge this? Am I going to have to directly tell other people or this institution and give feedback? Am I going to have to tell them everything that I think that they are doing wrong, or everything that feels misaligned with me, that goes against my values, my beliefs, what's important to me? Or do we walk away quietly? Many would argue that there's no one right or wrong way of doing this and that we each have to decide for ourselves what that is. There are many factors involved in stepping out. There are many factors involved in choosing to not conform to something. There are many reasons why not conforming could be a good thing, and there are many reasons why challenging certain systems is a good thing. For example, a society could operate by oppressing a certain group of people. That is not uncommon. Many societies oppress certain groups of people and give power and privilege to other groups. Is challenging that oppression a good thing? Many would argue yes. Some would argue no. And then we have to ask why. Why is it a good thing to some people? Why is it a bad thing to others? Is this good in the long run? Is this in the highest good for our evolution as human beings, as a collective, in the long run? Will future generations benefit from this? If we choose to have children, will they have a better life from this? Think about what you think needs to change. Try doing this separately. Do this for your own life, and do this also for what you think in the culture or society you're part of that needs to change. What are the things that come to mind that you think need to change? What are the things that come to mind that you think need to be challenged or questioned? What are the things that come to mind that you think need to be outwardly refused? For you to say, no, I will not be engaging in this. I will not partake in this. This is unacceptable to me. What are the expectations of this group, of this society, of people that you surround yourself with, of people who you interact with? What are the typical standards? What are the rules that are being followed? What are the belief systems and the practices that are being followed? Do those feel right for you? If you're thinking that it needs to change, chances are you probably don't think it's right. Now I want you to see a little bit of all these factors. Think about all of it. Really reflect on all of it. And when you feel like you have enough of a solid foundation in what you think needs to change, think about your role in it. Is there anything that you need to change individually? Is there anything that you need to be flexible with? Do you need to be flexible because you need to bend to their will, to bend into submission? Do you need to be flexible in order to keep the status quo? Or do you need to be flexible for reasons that are good for you in the long run? Things that are in your best interest, things that help you to be part of a community that feels aligned with you. What do you think it is for you? What is right to you? What is wrong to you? What feels right to you intuitively? What doesn't sit well with you intuitively? Now think of what's in your control. Think of what's not in your control. How do you want to implement this? Think in every area of your life that you think needs to change, individually, or even socially, in a group, in an organization, societally, whatever level you want to really hone in on right now. Are you being authentic? Are you truly living according to your values? Do you even know what your values are? Is a better question. Maybe we need to start there. What do you need to explore more? How have your values been shaped? What has influenced them? How can you get more of an understanding of what your values are? How can you align with your values more? How can you become the person who is strong and aligned with their values? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to discard? What do you need to practice more? What do you need to implement more? What do you need to work on? What do you need to cultivate? What do you need to nourish right now? Maybe consider writing a list of all your values. Maybe consider getting some kind of values deck. Maybe consider looking up a list of values, seeing what feels right. Or maybe just doing it intuitively. Just write them on your own. Think about them on your own and really ponder each and every one of them. Maybe you could see when it's written down, or when you really ponder on them, which values you're not living by. Maybe you might even find that some values that you thought were important to you might actually not be as important to you when you really think about it. Maybe one value is important in one area of your life, but not as important as in another area of your life. Think about why that might be. Think about what might have caused that. And think about if operating in that way is going to continue to help you to align to the person that you're trying to become. What even is that person? What do they look like? How do they act? How do they show up? What is their energy like? What kind of person are they? What do they do? How do they interact with others? What kind of contributions do they make, if any? There is not a shortage of questions that we can ask. There is not a shortage of ways that we can reflect. There are not a shortage of ways that we can practice introspection. And there's not a shortage of lessons for us to learn. There's not a shortage of ways that we can grow and ways that we can develop. But we have to ask ourselves, what direction do we think we might want to go on? And if we don't know the answer to that, maybe we can turn inward. Maybe we can invite a higher power, God, universe, source, whatever it may be for you, the divine, and ask for some guidance, ask for some wisdom, ask for help in strengthening your intuition. Get into a regular prayer and meditation practice. Get into a regular journaling practice. Listen to good content on these types of topics. Read books on these types of topics and really see what they all mean to you. Really think about each of these values and think about what each and every one of them means to you. A definition of one value to one person might mean a little bit different to another person. It might have a different definition. It might look a little bit different to another person. Is that a good or bad thing? What do you think? Give yourself some time. Give yourself some space to do this. Give yourself some quiet time to do this and see where it takes you. Step into the unknown. Challenge what you think needs to be challenged. Show yourself what you can do. Show yourself what you are capable of. Show yourself that you're capable of being authentic. Allow yourself to feel the freedom that comes with being authentic. Allow yourself to also feel the hardship that will come when you're being authentic. For many people, they experience a certain level of hardship or discomfort or pain when they're authentic because they have to let go of many things, because they're stepping into the unknown that could bring up a lot of fears, that could bring up a lot of uncomfortable emotions. Is that okay? Can we trust that we might be on the right path in the long run? Can we trust that we'll be okay in the end? Can we trust that this might be good for us in the grand scheme of things? If we're unsure, Or if we think it would be wise, we could always reach out for a second opinion from somebody who's trusted and appropriate. Maybe we can ask somebody who's close to us, who knows us well, what they think about it. Maybe we can get a second opinion. Some of us may feel we don't need that. Ask yourself where you stand on those two and why. If you think it would be helpful to get a second opinion, why? If you don't think it would be helpful to get a second opinion, why? See where it takes you. Practice that discernment. Allow yourself to learn. Allow yourself to make mistakes if needed. Allow yourself to experience a full life that is authentic. Allow yourself to experience a full life, a full way of being. Allow yourself to experience the human condition. Allow yourself to flow in the river of life. You may bump into some rocks. You may feel like you're drowning from time to time. You may feel like you're swimming upstream from time to time. Or you may feel like things are easy and flowing and are effortless. Life has a way of having so many ebbs and flows, ups and downs, riding the wave, calms before the storm. What kind of life do you want to lead? What kind of life do you want to live? Where do you need to challenge things? Where do you need to not conform? Where do you need to step into your authentic self? Where do you need to learn and grow? Where do you need to align more with your values? If you found this video to be helpful, like, share, and subscribe. Share with anybody who you think might benefit from this, anybody who may struggle with this, anyone who may have questions along the lines of these topics. And with that, you have a beautiful day.